I completed Outlast after starting it in 2019, which means it's been backlogged for 6 years, guys. And this game was released back in 2014. So you know what? I'm gonna do a review since I got all the achievements recently. Alright, first we got my favorite part of the game, which is the gameplay. There were times in the game where I would simply stop breathing because of how scary the part was, like being chased by Chris Walker. Oh my gosh, man, that made my face go red. I think that's how I'm gonna put it. And I just didn't breathe in some parts because all I was worried about was getting the hell out of whatever spot I was in. And the controls were super simple. They weren't really that complicated. I mean, a freaking monkey can learn how to play this game. And the fact that you had to use your camera batteries wisely really added to the horror element. And the fact that you couldn't see like most of the game was also pretty scary. There is one glitch that kind of took away the horror element, and that was for crouching over and over again. And honestly, it kind of takes away that adrenaline feeling I described earlier. And yeah, so if you want the full immersion, play by yourself, play in a pitch black room, and don't use that glitch. For a game that came out in 2014, this game looked good. It aged really well. The artists did a great job, honestly. The game looks scary as shit to me. All the dead bodies, all the shadows, the blood, the guts, it all looked like they should be there. There was nothing that really stuck out to me, honestly. There were a few texture glitches, but I ended up just using them to my advantage because, yeah, no, I would not survive in pitch black without glitches. So I can't really complain about the glitches too much when it comes to graphics. Yo, whoever did the sounds for this game deserves a raise. Like, they did an amazing job. There were times I jumped out of my chair a little because of how loud and sudden the jump scares were. The music was super fast paced. It really kept your heart pumping. It was just all out a 10 out of 10. It really contributed to the immersion of the game. Everything sounded realistic. Like when you stepped in water, it still sounded pretty realistic. And honestly, I loved the feeling you got when you were just chilling in the game and the music just changes suddenly and the sounds play. Like, you knew when you heard those sound cues, you just had to drop whatever you're doing and hide or run. Like, I loved that feeling of fear the game instilled in you throughout its duration. And yeah, this person deserves a raise. Alright, and on to the story. Honestly, it was a little weird, but it was still amazing. I felt like it flowed well, it all connected, and it didn't leave any of my questions unanswered. Kind of like the DLC. When your path finally crossed with the main story's path, it felt kind of nice, you know? At the end there, when we got to see our main protagonist from the main game. And when it came to our character, although he was a mute and they never really recorded lines for him, it was still really cool seeing his thoughts whenever we recorded something gruesome. And I liked how we could learn more about the patient and the asylum through the document collectibles. All the characters were casted great. They all had their own thing that made them scary. Like Chris Walker because he was a fucking giant, or Dr. Traeger because he mutilated his patients. The voice acting was on point. Like, you could really believe everyone was crazy or had murderous intent. And in my opinion, I think the scariest monsters in the game were the wall rider and the groom. They were also the toughest to deal with because I died to them the most. Alright, and finally we got the replayability. The fact that there's chapter select is amazing. It really gives you an opportunity to practice certain parts of the game, especially if you want to get the insane achievement, which by the way is a huge pain in the ass. The downside to this is that your collectibles don't carry over or save, so that means like if you missed one collectible, you'd have to start all over, so that would really suck if you missed one near the end of the game and you didn't realize till it was too late. Other than that, I think the game is divided up nicely, and honestly, the game does become boring once you memorize everything because it's not even scary anymore. You know what's coming, you know where the jump scares are, you know where the chase scenes are, but you kind of do need that if you want to do insane. Other than that, the replayability of the game is great. No complaints really, other than that one I mentioned earlier. Alright, and that's it for my review. Honestly, I wanted to keep it short. I just wanted to include my opinions, and that's that, you know? I will definitely be playing the other games because I really enjoyed this one. Also, you might notice that another video uploaded at the same time as this, that would be my insane run. Honestly, that was a huge feat for me, so I felt like I just had to post my entire run, and who knows, maybe you can help someone else along the way. But other than that, I hope you guys have a good day, and I will talk to you all later.